And welcome to This Is Now. On this Memorial Day, President Trump was at Arlington National Cemetery calling on Americans to remember those who gave their lives for the country. This comes as he is also calling on Russian President Vladimir Putin to do more to save lives in Ukraine. Erica Brown reports from the White House.
Taps played after President Trump placed a wreath at the tomb of the unknown soldier, a somber annual Memorial Day tradition.
President Trump.
During his remarks at Arlington National Cemetery, the president commemorated the servicemen and women who died in service to their country.
They gave everything, and we owe them everything and much, much more.
Vice President J.D. Vance also reflected on their sacrifice.
The very best way to honor the fallen is to only ask the next generation to make the ultimate sacrifice when they absolutely must. We must be cautious in sending our people to war.
While the president honored Americans lost in battle, he's stepping up criticism of Russian President Vladimir Putin after Russia's largest aerial attack on Ukraine since their war began.
We're in the middle of talking and he's shooting rockets into Kiev and other cities. I don't like it at all.
Ukrainian officials say more than a dozen people were killed after more than 350 drones struck Ukrainian cities.
He's killing a lot of people. I don't know what's wrong with him. What the hell happened to him, right?
The Kremlin responded to Trump's comments, saying there is a, quote, emotional overload of everyone involved. Erica Brown, CBS News, the White House.
And back here at home, fallen service members were honored at the Mayor's Memorial Day ceremony at the National Memorial Cemetery of the Pacific at Punch Bowl. The 74th annual event included color guard, a firearm salute, and a special military aircraft flyover. Thousands of lei were placed on graves throughout the cemetery to remember those who served.
In life, the brave men and women who died protecting our country and our freedom were someone's entire world. And today, as we honor their sacrifices, we also honor the Gold Star family members who mourned and who loved.
Indo-Pacific Commander Admiral Samuel Paparo served as the keynote speaker. We'll have his remarks later tonight on our newscast and online at hawaiinewsnow.com. Well, buying a specialized vehicle is one thing, getting it to Hawaii is another. That's why U.S. Senator Brian Schatz teamed up with Alaska Senator Lisa Murkowski to reintroduce the Deliver for Veterans Act. The bill would include transportation costs and the benefits for disabled veterans. Currently, all eligible veterans can get up to $26,400 to purchase and modify a vehicle, but that money can't be used for shipping, leaving those living outside the continental U.S. to foot the bill.
Yeah, I think all benefits for veterans is needed. They don't have enough as it is today.
The bill has been referred to the Senate Committee on Veterans Affairs. A similar bill already passed the U.S. House. Well, on Oahu, city and county offices are closed today in observance of Memorial Day. The bus is operating on a Sunday schedule. Skyline is on limited hours from 8 in the morning to 7 tonight. On-street parking is free today, except in certain parts of Waikiki. And a reminder, parking in Lanikai is restricted for the holiday until 3 this afternoon. Oh, an inspiring story to share with you this Memorial Day. Alan Doc Ho from Honolulu was in our nation's capital this weekend, showing us all the true meaning of this holiday. His son Nainoa was a first lieutenant infantry officer with the Army when he was killed in action in Iraq in 2005. He was 27 years old. Alan traveled this year to the USAA Poppy Wall of Honor, where a special dedication to his late son is now included. He brought an American flag with him, which holds particular significance.
This flag went to my son, and he was carrying it the day that he was killed in combat in Mosul, Iraq. I am very proud. Just an incredible young man.
Ho himself is a Vietnam War combat medic vet. In addition to the Poppy Wall, he visited the Vietnam War Memorial, where he laid poppy pins down for his fallen brothers and sisters lost in combat. Well, a hazard for flight enthusiasts in windward Oahu. Ben Gutierrez shows us why they say it's an accident waiting to happen.
This is an airfield. It's got the runway where the planes can land and take off. It's got the windsock, which tells pilots which way the wind is blowing. But this airfield is for flying machines like this one. The Kawainui Remote Control Air Model Field is used by aviation enthusiasts of all ages, flying model aircraft that often look like mini versions of the real deal.
Zoom means over here.
They've been doing this since the 1970s when the park was developed. But just recently, they noticed something new.
As of last week, we had 50-foot high power lines put in, 50-foot poles, right on the edge of our field, right on the edge of our runway.
Hawaiian Electric moved 9 power poles from one side of Kapa'a Quarry Road to the other.
There were 20-foot poles with the communication lines, which haven't been really a problem, but definitely these are posing a problem.
Pilots say the new poles are forcing them to make sharper turns when landing to avoid hitting the electrical lines and land halfway down the runway where planes hit big bumps.
That gives the wing some angle of attack, and the wing says, let's fly. But your power is off, and the airplane lifts up about 3 feet, and then it says, I quit.
I never knew about the conditions of the current runway. They're very bumpy, and so it makes it hard because no matter what planes, model planes land, they can be damaged, and some of these planes are very expensive.
On a tour of the airfield, City Council member Esther Kilauea experienced the challenges firsthand, flying one of the planes.
They felt, first off, that the city should consider extending the runway so that they could fly safely and not have to go over the HECO poles.
According to Kilauea, the city park boundary extends past the end of the current runway, so she's working with the Parks Department to make the runway longer and flatter. And even though the cost and work start date are still up in the air, it's good news for flyers who include retired airline pilots.
After doing it for a living for 33 years, this is just fun flying. I still really enjoy airplanes, but this is a way to just keep doing it.
Ken Gutierrez, Hawaii News Now.
Well, here's a live look within Hale-Ma'uma'u crater where there are no lava fountains, but still plenty of fog being pumped out. We're on pause again, but for those lucky enough to catch it, Kilauea put on quite the show for a few hours yesterday. Look at this video. Lava fountains exceeded 1,000 feet. Wow. The episode started at about 4:15 p.m. and was over just about 6 hours later at 10:25. But it drew plenty of interest. Hawaii County Police had warned the public to avoid Highway 11 in the area because of everyone driving in to catch a glimpse. This was the 23rd episode in the eruption, which started back in December. Well, a mystery continues near UH Mauna, where an unidentified animal was recently spotted. Witnesses say they saw what appeared to be a large cat last week Monday on the hillside near the East-West Center. It was apparently spotted again Friday morning at around 11:15. State wildlife teams went looking, including by air via drone, but they were not able to find the mysterious animal.
I was messing around with my girlfriend's son. I was like, look, a mountain lion. And then I took a picture, and I was like, wait a minute. And then lo and behold, I don't know, it was a big animal.
Officials are advising UH students and employees to be aware of their surroundings. Sightings should be reported by calling the number on your screen.
Thank you very much. On this Monday, let's go ahead and show you what we're tracking for you. Today, the best weather day probably of the week. We've got small surf, lots of sunshine, especially for the first half of the week, and then we get some clouds and some rain for the second half of the week. And as we take a look at what you can expect for today, a lot of sunshine everywhere. So we're starting off with sunshine, maybe some clouds, more sunshine, a little bit of clouds. That's what it's going to look like for most of the day. Daytime high about 87 degrees.
Thank you very much, Billy. Well, coming up, thousands will be at Ala Moana Beach Park tonight for the annual Shinyo Lantern Floating. A look at the preps for the special ceremony. Also, special military flyovers are taking place around the country for this Memorial Day. See what it's like flying with the U.S. Air Force Thunderbirds. Well, a busload of veterans, one bold leap. This Memorial Day weekend, Trident Adventures and the Honor Watch Foundation teamed up to give a group of injured service members an unforgettable experience. Casey Lund has the story.
We're going to do a quick brief with you guys.
Memorial Day is a time to remember those who made the ultimate sacrifice, those who never came home.
Let go. You're good?
Okay. But for a group of veterans and wounded warriors on Oahu, remembrance took the form of action. A leap from the sky into the waters of Ke'ehi Lagoon. With the help of Trident Adventures and the Honor Watch Foundation, these veterans honored the fallen by pushing themselves in a different kind of mission, one rooted in resilience, service, and tribute.
I know we both had a lot of people that we served with. Even the class I graduated in Buds with, we lost a third of our class in combat, and I just want to remember those guys. All right.
For Steve Kaplan and Brian Phillips, both veterans themselves, this was deeply personal. It was about giving back and remembering those who never got the chance to see a day like this.
You know, and the sacrifice they gave for our freedom today. Right. In particular, Aaron Vaughn, a good friend of mine in the SEAL team. Just want to remember him by name right now.
My whole family served, and so we've done this for generations. And you know, some people didn't make it back, and you know, they're not here for us to thank. So we're here to celebrate them.
Veterans from all walks of life took part, including DJ Acosta, a retired Marine whose recovery from a catastrophic motorcycle accident has become a story of triumph.
He's missing his whole lat here. It's here now. And then he did how many pull-ups out of a helicopter? 10 pull-ups out of a helicopter, missing half his back.
His body rebuilt with metal and muscle. His spirit never wavered.
If anything, it made me better as a person, like knowledge-wise, more wisdom. Because I know how to adapt to certain situations a lot better than I used to. No matter what happens in life, you can always come back. Nothing can hold you down, honestly. God put you here for a reason.
That message of strength through loss echoed from each moment of the event. For Aleem Shabazz, a fitness coach and veteran himself, Memorial Day means more than just a long weekend.
All gave some gave all, and that's the ones who actually, you know, either didn't come back or died in training or basically gave their life for the freedoms that we enjoy here in our country. So.
Shabazz even attempted a world record, more than 32 pull-ups, dangling beneath a helicopter, not for bragging rights, but to spotlight mental health and veteran suicide.
It's an honor to be here, to attempt something, to bring attention to it, so it'll be fun.
At the heart of the day was the Honor Watch Foundation, a nonprofit that funds moments like these through donors and outreach.
We don't want their injuries to limit them. We want them to just say, hey, you know, just because I'm injured doesn't mean that I have to stop living life. We want you to be able to just keep going forward with life and enjoying things that in the fullest adventure that you can possibly have.
And perhaps that's the most powerful way to remember those we've lost, by helping those who made it home to live boldly and in their honor.
We want to celebrate our life today. I know at least my friends who have passed away in service to our country, I know what they would want. They would want us, especially our vets today, to live life to the fullest, to know that their sacrifice was worth it.
At Ke'ehi Lagoon, I'm Casey Lund, Hawaii News Now.
Thank you very much, Casey. Well, if you live near a military base or along certain parts of the coastline, you may be lucky enough to see, hear, and even feel a flyover this Memorial Day. Nick Kilauea got up even closer for a fly-along with the U.S. Air Force Thunderbirds.
We took off from Long Island's MacArthur Airport. About 2 minutes later, we buzzed by Jones Beach. That's me in the rear cockpit. Up front, the pilot, Major Brandon Maxson.
It'll be a little nose up, a roll, and then a push to maintain
upside down.
At the hangar, Major Maxon shows us the maneuvers we would be trying out.
Well, we got to keep it under the speed of sound, so solos will be 0.95 Mach.
Maxon's call sign is crime. I didn't ask why, didn't really want to know. But crime is a self-described adrenaline junkie.
Yeah, I love flying. It's a blast every single time. You know, different days, different elements can be stressful, but it is an overall joy every single time.
Back in the sky, we flipped and rolled. Crime even let me take the controls for a bit. At one point, we pushed the F-16 to 9.3 Gs, a force more than 9 times the weight of gravity. The Air Force Thunderbirds demo team includes 6 pilots, supported by a team of 130 people. Their mission? To recruit, retain, and inspire.
We'd love folks to join their military, serve their communities, but ultimately want them leaving feeling inspired, knowing that they can accomplish just about anything they put their minds to.
After an hour in one of the most impressive pieces of machinery on the planet, we landed. I never lost my lunch or consciousness, but I gained an immense respect for the entire Thunderbirds team. At MacArthur Airport on Long Island, Nick Calloway, CBS News, New York.
Well, new changes for tonight's Shinyo lantern floating ceremony at Magic Island. This year, there will be a dedicated lantern pickup line for military families, as well as a 50% parking discount at Ala Moana Center using a promo code Lantern2025. There will be a free shuttle from Kaka'ako Waterfront Park to Magic Island. Individual lanterns will be available on a first-come, first-served basis, available for pickup now. For more details, head to lanternfloatinghawaii.com. Well, let's give you a look from our tower cam. Couldn't ask for better conditions on this Memorial Day holiday. Full forecast for the week ahead after the break.
First Alert Weather with Billy V.
Thank you very much. On this Monday, First Alert Weather. Now, not only do we give you the weather when it's bad, but also when it's good, we like to tell you as well. Today may be the best weather day of the week. Let's start with the surf first. It's going to be flat to 2 over on the North Shore, 1 to 3 over on the west side, 2 to 4, and on the east side, 2 to 4. That's going to be, pretty nice no matter where you go. And this is going to be statewide, these numbers as well. UV index is at 11, so make sure that you put on the sunscreen and reapply and stay hydrated this weekend. As for today, a lot of sunshine. We may get some clouds in the morning, some afternoon clouds as well. Daytime high going to be near 84 degrees, but this in some places will feel more like 87, 88 degrees. Just kind of a heads up. And then as we go throughout the day, I'll take a look, or out through the week, the winds are going to be light here, and that's because we had the upper level, or we had the high pressure that's moving off to the east, and so we've got lighter winds here, and that's going to make for more stable weather, although we may get some sprinkles on Wednesday. But you can see daytime high 86 degrees, stable weather, possible haze with the lighter winds. As we get into the later parts of the week, we'll start to pick up some of the moisture from the south, and we'll also get the easterly winds 15 to 20 plus miles per hour. That's not until next weekend. Nice 7 days for you. Enjoy the Memorial Day weather today. Back to more with This Is Now.
Well, a dairy farm in Connecticut owned by veterans opened its gates to the public today for families to visit some of their animals and learn about where their food comes from. Owen Kingsley has the story.
Guardian's Farm in Southbury is the only veteran-owned dairy farm in all of Connecticut. It's a working dairy farm, but one that's also open to the public.
Oh my goodness.
That's almost bigger than me.
They explain everything. It's like getting an education when you come.
David Buck co-owns the farm with his wife. He served 22 years in the Coast Guard.
As a veteran, also as a police officer, my wife is a police officer, we've really dedicated our lives to service and serving, the public. Farming is kind of the same thing, where we have transitioned to, supporting our local community, not with safety and protection, but with good products, like our dairy products, our goat milk products, but then also experiences now.
After all the parades and festivities on Memorial Day morning, families from near and far are looking for those experiences on the holiday.
I seen calf cuddles, and that pretty much sold the ticket for me.
Olivia Esposito and her son Eli came to visit the farm from New Jersey.
Yeah, I never blessed a cow in my life before.
To Olivia, appreciating a day you can spend with family is in itself a way to honor our fallen heroes.
Life is short, and not only do we remember the ones that have served, I think we have to remember their purpose, and that's to live out our lives, and that they protect us in order for us to do that.
Patricia Panassi lives in Southbury, but only recently discovered Guardian's Farm and its roots of service to our country.
I had read about it, knew we were going to the parade, and it's perfect to come right over here afterwards.
The farm is typically only open from 11 to 3 on weekends and recommends making a reservation. Your reporter in Southbury, Owen Kingsley, Channel 3 Eyewitness News.
Well, back here at home, a man and his cat are now in Hawaii after completing a sailing voyage from Oregon. A big celebration was held Saturday at the Waikiki Yacht Club. Oliver Widger and his cat Phoenix started the journey over the Pacific nearly a month ago with no open ocean experience. Widger was diagnosed with a rare spinal condition which prompted him to quit his job, buy a boat, and learn how to sail. His social media post during the trip went viral, with many online supporters following his progress. This weekend, he had the chance to finally meet some of the people that followed his journey.
I never felt like truly alone, you know? Yeah, I felt, because I would also like FaceTime like friends and stuff, so I didn't get the full experience, which in a way, like I wish I did, because all of like the legends, you know, that have crossed oceans before have never had Starlink and stuff, and they all like go insane in a way, and I kind of I wanted to experience that, but yeah.
His bravery, not just becoming a superstar and facing off with all you guys in the world, which is something, but to be out at the sea, and people of Hawaii see the sea as sacred, as you know, but it's sacred also that you would settle here as your first stop, and we're grateful to you. So we have just a little something. We have a lot of cat food, I think.
A lot of cat food. Now, Governor Green presented Widger and Phoenix with a proclamation honoring their trip. Widger says he plans to stay in Hawaii for 6 months and then head to French Polynesia. This really was a journey that captivated so many around the world, especially online as well. Hearing his story, how he's come back from such adversity. No open ocean experience. What a feat to go from Oregon down here to the islands, and a much deserved grand celebration for him reaching his destination here at Hawaii. Let's give you a look outside right now on this Memorial Day, a shot from our tower cam. Beautiful, picturesque conditions, and many will be converging at the Ala Moana Beach Park tonight for the Shinyo Lantern Floating Ceremony. More news online at hawaiinewsnow.com and later on First at 4.